We just hit 500 subscribers on this channel. And honestly, growing this YouTube channel has taught me more about navigating this job market better than any career coach ever could. And I know that sounds weird. Like, what does making videos have to do with getting hired? I would say it has everything to do with it. Today, I'm breaking down the 6 skills that YouTube forced me to learn and how they translate directly into landing jobs in 2026 and beyond. So let's talk about the first lesson I learned, and it's that you gotta get these videos out fast. But you gotta learn from the mistakes you made faster. What I found is that every single video that I create and put out here is an experiment. You have to test your titles. You have to make sure that your thumbnail drives clicks to your videos. And you have to make sure that the first 15 seconds of your video, your hook, reels people in, or they're gone, never to be seen again. Then you get the strength to hit publish and put your videos out into the world. And if you're like me, you sit and watch the data on YouTube Studio. And if you're like me, you don't get any views anyway in the first hour or so of publishing a video. So it's kind of pointless to sit and watch YouTube Studio data anyway. But after a couple of weeks of your video being out in the world, you get to see how it's performing, and then you get to make some adjustments. Does that sound familiar? That's exactly what high performers do in this job market. You test different resume formats to see what actually gets you callbacks. You learn from rejection and you come back stronger. Then you iterate on what's working and you ditch what isn't. Employers say that they want adaptable candidates. Building this channel showed me what that actually looks like in practice. Not as a buzzword, but as a daily discipline. Lesson number 2 is learning that storytelling is everything. If you can explain ideas clearly and hold people's attention and build trust over time, you've actually built leverage. Before building this channel, friend, I used to think that I was an excellent storyteller, okay? But then when I decided to start this channel and I started watching other people's videos, I found out very quickly that I was a novice storyteller at best. YouTube forced me to get better at script writing and hooking people in within the first 15 seconds of my video, presenting complex topics and presenting them clearly, and lastly, communicating under pressure. And those skills transfer everywhere, right? Interviews, leadership, client work, and of course, internal influence. The people who tell clear and concise stories move through hiring processes much faster and up the ladder faster if that's what they choose to do. All right, I want to move on to my third lesson. And if you're still here, yay, because this is the biggest learning curve yet. And that's digital fluency. Running a YouTube channel forces you to learn a few things. SEO, for starters. I had a little bit of knowledge about search engine optimization in previous roles, but the SEO game on YouTube is a completely different animal. I also dug deep into analytics. Now, analytics is a part of my day-to-day role as a product marketing manager. Most of my campaigns and my go-to-market strategies are built off of data. But YouTube analytics, friend, completely different beast. You definitely get broader insight into what's working from a social media standpoint, and that insight differs from that of product adoption. I also learned basic production. You have to make sure you learn video editing basics, or if your microphone sounds right. You'll also learn to add music to set the vibe. Sometimes you want a little jazz or a little lo-fi beat in the background while you're explaining a concept. You also learn platform behavior, and I'm still in the throes of learning this. As a new YouTuber, I thought that YouTube functioned like an Instagram or TikTok, but I'm quickly learning that it's a completely different ballgame. YouTube is search-based, which is completely different from other social media platforms. And here's why this matters for the job market today. Every company nowadays is a digital company. Whether you're in marketing, operations, sales, or finance, you need to understand how digital platforms work. And you need to understand how to read data and how to present ideas online. If you can prove that you learn these skills independently, that shows initiative and digital literacy that most mid-career professionals don't have. Now let's talk about AI, my lesson number 4, because AI fluency played a huge role in growing this channel. I used AI to do a few things. Number one, brainstorm. I lean on AI to help me come up with ideas for topics that I want to discuss on this channel. Number two, I use it to outline, so I'm not just out here talking randomly in circles and I'm staying on task. And number three, I use it to optimize my talking points. Now, I know some people on this platform use AI to write their entire script, but I do not. But using AI to set the foundation for my workflow, for filming and building content, shows that I have AI literacy. And here's the thing, in 2026, employers aren't going to ask you if you use AI. They're already assuming that you use AI. What they want to know is, can you actually use it strategically? Can you take a new tool, learn it, and then apply it to solve problems? That's what building this channel has taught me. And that translates directly to when you're interviewing for roles. Because companies want to hire people who can adapt to utilizing new tools without having to be handheld. Now, I won't come on here and lie to you and say that AI isn't replacing jobs, because it is in some circumstances for sure. However, the people out here who know how to use AI are replacing those who don't. Now, the fifth lesson I've learned is that you gotta be resilient to be on this platform. Most of my videos flopped, and it pains me to say that. Growth has stalled out. The algorithm keeps changing every other day. And of course, my motivation took a hit because of that. But I kept going anyway. And that's the same resilience you gotta have in this job market. Applications take longer, and there's more hoops to jump through. Ghosting is the norm, and it causes you to doubt your worth. Your progress, any progress that you've made, starts to feel invisible. But here's the key. You gotta stay consistent anyway. That builds a mindset that most people never develop. The ability to keep pushing forward when the going gets tough. That's what separates people who make it through this brutal job market and those who give up. Now, the last lesson that I learned is that I can build something from nothing. You and I both know that 500 subscribers didn't just appear overnight or by accident, because a few things had to happen in order to make this goal. I had to take initiative and actually start filming, which, if you're watching this and thinking about starting a YouTube channel, just do it. I also had to have self-direction, because if I didn't have that to drive me to make the next video or write the next script or plan out the next week of content, I probably would have quit this channel a long time ago. I also had to learn to take my skill set of problem solving and apply it to this channel. I use problem solving skills every single day at work, so why not apply the same skills to grow my channel? And lastly, I had to be very aware of what my audience wants. At first, I was throwing spaghetti at the wall to see if it stuck, and it shows in my early videos. And even with the videos that I'm creating now, I'm still learning what this audience wants. But I'm using the insights that I gained to refine every single script that I write and every single video that I film. And hopefully over time, I'll get a better sense of what this audience is actually looking for. All right, so to bring it back to how this actually applies to interviews, when a hiring manager asks, tell me about a time when you took initiative, you're not just making something up. For example, I can point to my own channel and say something like this. I defined a gap in mid-career job search content, taught myself video production, and built an audience of 500 in 9 months, all while working a full-time job. That's proof, not promises. And proof wins in 2026. The big takeaway here is this. If you've built something from nothing, be it a channel, a side hustle, a career pivot, or a new skill set, you're training in public for the exact job market that we're in. You're not just saying you're adaptable, right? You're proving it. You're not just claiming that you learn fast, you're demonstrating it. Your channel, your side hustle, whatever it is you're building, that's your living and breathing portfolio. And in a skills-based hiring market, I would say that holds more value than any resume bullet at this point. All right, friend. That's all I have for you today. I hope you didn't stick around for me to be like, oh, well, this is how much YouTube is paying me for 500 subscribers, because it's zilch, nada, nothing. But if you're rebuilding your career or building a side hustle, leave a comment below. I definitely want to hear about what you're working on. Also, if you're going through this 2026 job market and this video helped you, please don't be afraid to give me a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. I am here every week. And as always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for subscribing to my channel if you have already. And I will see you in the next one. Bye! I was a novice storyteller storyteller. Blah. Can you take a null